What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Second Avenue Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Linares.
I'm your other host, Elijah Venencia. Jonathan, you're welcome. Giving you the blessing for the Celtics to move on Sunday. We're recording this super early in the week, so we're only one game in, whereas we should have been 2 or 3 games in. But my Miami Heat have that 1-0 series lead already. What are your thoughts after watching that first game?
Yeah, first off, of course, I got to give you a big thank you. You're like the reverse base god curse. You just gave me that blessing. I guess the base god gives some blessings here too. But yeah, thank you for that. I had to make sure the Celtics got that Game 7 win, and they got that. It was a pretty big win. I was very happy. But anyway, yeah, after Game 1, I don't feel bad. I probably should feel worse than I do. But with no Marcus Smart, no Al Horford, and that like abysmal third quarter, I think games moving forward can be all right. Like, what was it, a 22-2 run?
Yeah, 22-2 run. Yeah,
that's crazy. If you go on a run like that, you deserve to win the game. The Heat deserve to win the game. Yeah, it was as simple as that. Like, I was trying to think back to what prediction I gave that you said was disrespectful. I think I said Celtics in 4 or 5, and you were appalled. You stood up.
No. Yeah, I got off.
I don't remember which one it was, but I still stand by Celtics winning the series. I'll adjust it to 6, though. I think the Heat will get one more game at least.
We're both missing our starting point guards. That's my takeaway from it. I don't think Al Horford is going to thrive against us, though. I think Robert Williams, plays a lot better against us than Al Horford would. So, I mean, that'll be to be determined once he comes back on what they do with that. But I think it may be a blessing that he's out.
I disagree. I think Al's been playing really well. He's been playing like he's 25.
No, I'm not saying he has been going crazy this playoffs, but I just think matchup wise, I think
respect.
I'm just waiting for then we get Duncan some minutes, though. It's kind of a sleeper pick here. Not sleeper pick, but he could come in and be an X factor. So
that's what I was wondering. I feel like Max Strus just took his entire role.
Yeah, Strus does guard a lot better than him, I will say. Tyler did his thing too. That's what I wanted to see from him. He hasn't been too hot this playoffs, but solid 18-point performance. Had like 15 in the first half, so didn't really need him in the second. So it's gonna be an exciting series, though. I mean, it's what else can you expect from a Celtics Heat conference finals? It's always a great matchup. So
I know it's gonna be a good one, but then on the other side, that boy Christopher just blew it. He's been buns. He was buns for the last couple of games. D-Book didn't show up like I hoped. The Suns didn't show up like I hoped. And now we're getting Mavericks against Warriors. I'm not mad at it. The Game 1 is going on right now as we're recording. The Warriors were winning last I looked. I think that could be a good series too, though. Luka is like a demon.
This is Luka's moment to shine here. I feel confident, and I feel a little less confident, if the Warriors move on for the Celtics or the Heat, but if the Mavs move on, you just got to stop one player. So, and it is fully possible for them to move on, because I don't see anybody on that Warriors team that could slow down Luka the way that, a Jason Tatum or a Jimmy Buckets could.
That's facts. But I got to say, Luka has been in his Michael Jordan bag. He's been like just on demon time. He's been drinking beers before the games. On game day, he's just sipping a beer. There was a picture of on Twitter today. Then he said the same thing as MJ, where he's like, anybody can talk when you're up. A real man can talk when they're tied or down. Which that's kind of a fire that, he's saying that. And then he's just, ever since D-Book was like kind of throwing a little shade at him, he's been on one, and I love to see it. Luka's a demon.
So my takeaway from all this is, what the fuck is Pat Bev doing? I love how anybody that's like actually played basketball before, all these NBA analysts that actually played in the NBA are just on there fucking roasting him. So
it is pretty crazy. Matt Barnes is against him. Dame is against him. Like, everybody's turning on Pat Bev. Pat Bev is a demon.
Well, I wouldn't say they're turning against him.
Well, they're just like disagreeing with him.
Yeah.
Not like, they're not like fuck Pat Bev, but they're like, he's an idiot.
Yeah.
So kind of turns. But anyway, yeah, it's wild.
I saw a tweet that he had posted about him going back and forth with Dame. He said something, or maybe it was on the talk show, where he was like, we've had the same career. You've never been to the finals or all this. I was like, come on now. Would you rather have the career Dame's had or that you've had?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
He's coming for 2 of my guys. I love Damian Lillard. I love Chris Paul. So I don't hate Pat Bev like others do, but
no, I don't hate him either. I kind of like him, but he is gonna be a dumbass right now, so he's got to chill because Christopher is having a way better career than he's had or will have, and obviously Dame as well. So it's tough. But Chris Paul is like a easy top 5 point guard of all time. So Pat Bev got to slow his roll a little bit.
Definitely. Moving on though, out off the NBA talk. Before we get into our topic for this week, Jonathan, you trumped me a couple weeks ago, so I got a question here for you.
Okay, I like this. Let's go.
This album dropping in 2017 was a collaborative album. That is your first hint there.
Got a collab album from 2017. I'm gonna go with I want to have a guess at least for the first one. I don't want to just have nothing.
Yeah, so. I mean, it is tough just to go off of that.
It is. I'm trying to think of what would have come out that year. I don't know. Give me another hint.
Only one of the artists is known as a solo artist is my next hint for you.
That's interesting. This is definitely tough. Only one is a solo artist. I'm trying to think of groups now, and that's even kind of hard. I got it. Huncho Jack.
Yeah, there it is. That was the I could tell right there when that light bulb went off. But my next hint was going to be these two first collaborated on the solo artist debuted album in 2015, and I think you would have gotten it off that.
Yeah, I think so too. But that was a good one. That was like a good level of difficulty because the first, like, it's hard to think back, that many years on a collab album just randomly. Especially because we haven't gotten a lot of like music from Travis recently. That's kind of like a album I don't go back to very often. So that was definitely tough, but
I should have flipped those two around where the solo artist, I should have done that probably as my last hint, but
I like it. It was good. Yeah, facts. I feel like one last thing we got to say before we get into today's episode, though, we got to give a special shout out to the young bull, Trent. We got to make sure prayers up for Trent. He got hurt playing basketball last week. He's been showing love. We got to show him a little love too. He's
a little troll. He sent me the other night. He Snapchatted me and he was like, I just love this drink so much. He's holding a fucking like pitcher of lemonade. And I was like, I missed it at first because like, what's this? What's he snapping me this for? And then I just ignored him. And then he was like, oh, you didn't. I was like, oh, I didn't get it, bro. And he was like, he snapped me again with it. And I was like, oh, got you now.
Wild. I was just thinking, like, you were, kind of talking a little bit from the sidelines the other day. Was he trying to guard me with a broken bone?
Yeah, I think his bone is broken by that point. Yeah, he did say that. He did say his bone is broken. He's like, I was trying to guard him with a fractured ankle. So prayers up for my young bull,
Shout out. Hopefully he's all right. But anyway, let's move in today's episode. We got the homie ChildishDevino coming on. It's gonna be a banger. We're gonna be doing a tier list of songs from the playlist. Songs Get White People Turned. This is a big known playlist, over 60,000 followers on Spotify alone. A lot of mainstream hits that everybody knows, sort of that pop punk, pop and rap classics, mainstream hits. Everybody knows them. Everybody loves them. You put on a function, guaranteed to go crazy. Let's get into it.
All right, Devin, welcome on. Why don't you introduce yourself to the viewers a little bit? Tell us a little bit about your music taste.
All right, so my music taste is very wild. Consists of everything, anything you want: rap, jazz, rock, pop, hip hop, emo, punk, even some heavy metal every once in a while. Just the only thing that I have in common really with Johnny is that we both love Kanye.
We saw Ye for the first time together, so that's fire. Actually, it was my second time. But your first time.
Nice, man. I'm not spoiled enough to do that. So
he was a surprise the first time. I didn't pay to see Kanye twice. That would be wild.
Be a bag.
That would be a bag. I'm gonna have to do it again. I do want to see Kanye again before it's all said and done. So we'll see. But I'm not trying to like pay an absolute bag.
Yeah,
the first time. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're the guest.
Like the first time you saw him was Coloring Book, right? Like Magnificent County Day or whatever.
He just popped out of nowhere. They were playing music between the sets for every artist, and so I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, they're just playing Kanye song, cool. Next thing you know, I'm like walking, they throw on fire, just my hands, everybody's just going crazy, losing their shit. People run on the field. I ran on the field. It was a movie, best moment of my life, no question. Crazy. And then we saw him a couple months later. I was hooked. We saw him that time at Madison Coloring Day, and then he was coming to Chicago again like 2 months later. It's like, we got to go. So then we got a big squad together and went. It was a good time.
It's good to finally get you on, Devin. You know, this has been months in the making. We talk about it almost every night on 2K, you know, getting my boy on. You know, there's been some controversy with the Mitch D collab, and, you know, it's just good to finally have you here, you know, see you on my screen.
Well, you know, I thought maybe I would be like the first collab that you had, you know, being the executive vice producer behind the scenes, you know, and then for you to just choose Dirty Mitch G over me, I was kind of hurt, but, you know, it's okay.
You know, that was a business transaction strictly. Mitchell gave me some goods. In return, I provided a collab. You know, maybe it was a sellout move, but hey, you're no stranger to the mic. You're a Twitch streamer as well. Tell people about your Twitch streaming history. You've been on Twitch for a minute. You're an OG on Twitch. I feel like everybody kind of got into Twitch streaming somewhat recently, but you've been at it for a minute.
Devin started that movement.
Facts.
He did it first. He's just like Soldier Boy.
Okay, well, that's the first time I've ever been called like Soldier Boy, you know, but I've been streaming since 2016, probably 2015 even. I think my first stream actually was 2014. I played like Outlast, I think, and it popped off. But then I was streaming off a PlayStation. I didn't really enjoy it, so I stopped that. But then I will take credit. I think I am probably the first VC streamer, you know, at least from my knowledge. I could be wrong, but, you know, I do enjoy it every now and again. The games are kind of stale, but you got to do what you got to do.
Facts. I think we might be the first rap podcast in the VC too. So we share that in common. We're just OGs of everything we do.
We're just projects of Soldier Boy.
Facts. He's the blueprint.
Moving on though, let's get into our tier lists here. I mean, I feel like we got a lot of great tracks. So Johnny, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah. So we ended up choosing 25 songs that fit this criteria, and we're going to rank them classic tier list style, S, A, B, C, D. Obviously S being the best tier, the superior tier, A being a little bit lower, B being a little lower, and then D finally being like the ones that if you play it on the aux, you're getting privileges revoked immediately.
Yeah.
So to start us off,
I'm looking forward to some controversy here on some of these. I want some arguments over what tier they should be in, especially from you, Devin.
Well, this is like my expertise, obviously. So, I mean, I'm going to have some things to say.
Exactly. I feel like I have very limited knowledge on the pop punk style stuff. So that's why we called you in here. You're the expert. So I think if it comes down to it, we can't agree. Devin gets final say, but hey, let's get into it. The first song being The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. Where do you boys put this?
I mean, for me, you know, it's a great song. I just don't know how hyped they'd get off that. So I'll go with a B here. You know, it's not a bad song. It's kind of like that. You see it in all these like cheesy Disney movies and everything. So I put it a B though.
All right. What about you, Devin?
For me personally, I threw it in there kind of as like the bridge from C to B kind of, because
I like that.
Phenomenal song. But I mean, in level of like hype, it just depends on the person. Me personally, I would be, you know, but as for anybody else, it's up to however they interpret it, but it is right there. Probably C+ if we had that. So like C to B right there fits in perfectly fine.
I like that because I was thinking C, so I think we go C on this one.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of good songs here. I don't want to go too high, too early.
That was my biggest thing.
I'm cool with going C on this.
Yeah, not putting it too high, not putting it too low. So I think that's a good starting song there.
Okay, so we got a C tier here for Jimmy Eat World, The Middle. Let's move on to the next song, which is 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton. This is a banger.
Devin, I'll let you rank this one first.
This one for sure for me, high B. High B.
I'm right there with you. I think it's a good song, just like The Middle. It's a very listenable, very enjoyable song, but it's not going to get the crowd turned, in quotes. You know what I mean? Like, everybody loves that piano type stuff, but it's just not like lit. Like, it's not going to be turned. So I'm going B.
That has got to be one of the more iconic, beats on there though. That piano right away, everybody knows is playing. So I'm right with you guys though at B. I think it's a very respectable ranking for that.
Yeah, that's a very iconic song, but there's just a little bit better, a little bit bigger hits out there. So let's put it at B and move on to the next song here. We're talking about iconic songs. We got to talk Dancing Queen by ABBA. This is a tough one. This is a great song. I feel like the crowd will be pretty lit here. I'm thinking A tier on Dancing Queen.
That's a little high for me.
Okay.
I'd say it's lower B tier for me.
Okay. I'm
Personally,
not against
for me,
that.
Low B.
Low B? Okay. I was thinking low A, but I could go to B. I just think, I feel like, especially in like the social media age, David Dobrik used to throw this in the vlogs maybe a couple years ago. It's A tier. I'm cool with B tier.
We've got a lot of A tier and S tier songs. So I mean,
That's
if you're listening right now, don't get too offended because there is some fucking heat in here.
Oh yeah. Speaking of heat, this one is gonna be a polarizing song. It's All Star by Smash Mouth. I feel like people that love this song or hate this song. Where are you boys at with this song?
I'm gonna throw it in the B tier.
The B tier is getting a little full, but I'm fine with that.
It's a good middle ground, It's not perfect, but it's also not bad. So, Devin, where are you at with this one?
I'd put it high B. I feel like it kind of just depends on the people, of course. But like anybody that's a Shrek fan,
yeah,
100%, like they're bopping to it the whole time. Me personally, I think it is very good, but it's like there's only so much you can do to get Turnt, and it's like it doesn't do it all.
I agree. It's a good song, very nostalgic, but I think it's a B tier.
Let's get an A tier and S tier song in here.
I know.
Go.
We're gonna get into it here, but let's move on to the next song. Shake It by Metro Station. Before we start this, I got a little trivia question for you guys. Siblings of actors or actresses on which Disney Channel classic show formed the group Metro Station? I saw this one day and it blew my mind. I don't know how widespread this information is.
I don't have that good of a guess, but I'm just gonna go with Zach and Cody there. Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
All right, you got a guess, Devin?
So like OG Disney Channel, like
oh yeah,
era
like 2000s to 2010s.
No, I kind of want to think does Hilary Duff have a brother? I don't
Tell
know.
me, man. You tell me. I don't know.
If she does, I feel like that would be right up the alley right there. So we'll go with Hilary Duff, Lizzie McGuire.
Okay. So two of the members in the band Metro Station are actually Mason Musso and Trace Cyrus. The answer is Hannah Montana. Pretty wild little fun fact there, right?
That's crazy.
But let's move into the tier list. Where are you guys putting this song? I think the song's a hit. Let's start with Devin.
Yeah, where are you at with Devin?
It's the top of my A tier for me, probably. Like this one, you hear it and it's just you gotta move. You gotta get up, you gotta shake it.
See, so my only like with the other ones, I couldn't see like a crowd getting too hyped to them. I could see a little bit singing along, but people are gonna be jumping around body to body. This is gonna be Travis Scott Astroworld Pill.
Except safe. Yeah, I'm going A tier as well. I think this is an infectious beat. Like you throw this on in the right setting, crowd's gonna get lit. Yeah, it's A tier for me. All right, so I think let's go A tier for Shake It. Move on to the next song, I Miss You by Blink 182. This song, I wasn't too familiar with. I had to ask Devin what it was the other day, and then he was like, it's the classic, like when people are trying to make fun of like emo pop punk voice, they choose this song. Where are you? And I was like, you're exactly right. And then I knew exactly what he was talking about. But other than that, I have never heard this song in public. I've never heard this song, maybe in general. So I'd go lower on this one, like maybe like a C or D, honestly. But that's just one man's opinion. So let's hear what you guys say. Let's go,
Devin's the pop punk guy here. So what's your opinion here, Devin?
as for like the hype effect, it's not really there. It's kind of like a high D, maybe low C, like maybe the lowest C you can get. But it's a phenomenal song. But it's just like you hear like when he actually sings that note that everyone makes fun of, that's when it picks up. But it only picks up for like maybe 10, 15 seconds. So then it's like, oh, what do I do now? You know?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I feel like it's got to be D for me there, just because of that fact. Like I'm just not a big fan of like, especially like crowd pleasing songs. You know, getting hyped for that little 10 or 15-second moment, and then everybody's just dead again. Like,
It's tough. Like I was going through the song trying to find that exact part, and it took me a minute. I was like, "Where is it coming? When's it coming?" And then it like came and went. A song that didn't make this list, but I was considering. I was going through that playlist. It was "Where'd All the Time Go" by Dr. Dog that went super viral on TikTok,
yeah,
and it was really big off Outer Banks. I feel like it's one of those that like has like a shorter section that it would just go crazy for, but then it's like not everybody's trying with the song for like 3 minutes or however long it is. But like the first time they say like "Where'd All the Time Go" and the little beat, it would
yeah.
hit. But then after a minute, you're like, I don't know. So I kind of put that in the same category as this. So what's our verdict on this? Are we going D?
You're
we have
the
to.
deciding factor. Devin said low C. I said D. So
I said D.
okay,
I
yeah.
think we
So
have to.
it's got to be
Okay.
D then.
Let's go D for that one then. Next song. This is a hit. Stacy's Mom. I feel like this is another one. Depending on the setting you got, it's a very big sing-along song. The beat isn't as like hype as I would, choose in many settings, but the lyrics are so catchy. Everybody knows, at least like the chorus. I don't know where I'd put this one though.
This has got to be like low S tier, high A tier for me. That's one of the ones that's got to be up there for me.
I was thinking more like B tier or A tier. So I'm cool with A or S if that's what you want. What are you thinking, Devin?
I would say like high B, low A, maybe, just depending.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know. Do we go B tier on it or A tier?
I think we have to go A tier though.
Yeah, I think
Like, it has to be like
we're all in it
that.
somewhere, some agreements on A tier on this.
It is just like an iconic song, so I'm not mad at putting it that high. But I don't know if it's personally the one I would choose to bump, but it would get the crowd going. I know it would. All right, so we'll go A tier on Stacey's Mom. Moving on. This is a song that Devin chose to be included on this, but I love this song. Misery Business by Paramore. Ooh, this song just reminds me of like a lot of these songs do actually remind me of Guitar Hero. But for some reason I am like 99% sure this is on Guitar Hero back in the day. That was like my intro to Paramore, intro to like a lot of this type of music, but love this song. This is like I'm gonna go A tier. I love this song.
Dev, where you at on this?
This for sure, solid A. Solid A. You just can't
I'm
go wrong
high
with
B,
it.
low A, so I'm with you guys. I'm putting that in A tier.
Okay, I like it. I have like listened to the song quite a bit since we started getting this like list going. I listened to it like on the car ride home from the gym just now to get ready to record this episode, and it hit. So I was like, I'm gonna be very high on this song, but not S tier high. We're gonna get to the S tier high. All right, so A tier here for Misery Business by Paramore. Let's move on to the next song, Don't Trust Me by 303. This is a very nostalgic song. Devin, where are you at with this one?
High B, low A for sure. Depends. I absolutely love the song. Like, I'm up and moving, just every time, every single time it comes on, I got to do something. I don't know if that's how everyone else is, but for me personally, I'm a fiend for it. I need it.
Elijah, what about you?
Devin, I feel like that one's a little bit of a personal pick for you. I don't know how hyped the crowd would get off this, but I'm high C, low B is my ranking there.
I think this is showing the age difference because I'm with Devin on this one. I think the crowd will get pretty lit to this. It just depends though. Like Devin said on the crowd, I do like have very vivid memories of this song, like when it was on the radio. Like this song was going crazy, and it's it was fairly explicit, but they're throwing on the radio, obviously clean version, but they're still throwing on the radio. Like, don't trust a hoe. Like that's the chorus you're gonna put on the radio. It was banging though. I mean, looking at heavy play. But yeah, I'm cool with like a B tier.
We'll go high B there. High B, low A. I mean, if you guys want to bump it to A, you guys are in agreement there. So
Devin.
But you had it at C, you know, so I think we just meet in the middle. So
Okay.
B.
All right.
That's what I'm thinking. All right, let's do B. This song that we're moving on here to is a hit. Elijah used it in Ox Battle 2. It is Pocket Full of Sunshine by Natasha Bedingfield.
I know where Devin's going to be on this, and I'm in complete agreement with whatever Devin says. But I mean, I feel like, we were talking about hooks, the short hooks, but this one's kind of got, two moments where you could sing, where she's talking about Pocket Full of Sunshine and then, the Take Me Away as well. So, Devin, I'll let you have my vote on this.
Personally for me, it's got to be like solid B, maybe even bump it to A, depending. But it's like depends on like what kind of setting we're in. Like take for instance, like you're at a prom, you're at a dance, you play that song, everyone goes wild for those small portions of it. But it's like me personally, like whole time, like that might be, I'm calling myself out here, but that is in my gym playlist as like
that is
my
the gym.
Like my fifth song, after we get through Otis and everything, we go straight into Pocket Full of Sunshine, and it hits every single time.
Respect. I honestly think that the Take Me Away part kind of hits better than the Pocket Full of Sunshine part. And I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but that's where I'm at with that.
I agree with you on that, but I'm just saying, it does have those two that can be very singable. Yeah, where everybody can be.
I don't know where I'd throw this one though. I kind of like B.
I think it's a surefire A. I'm a little surprised Devin didn't give it. I thought it was at least gonna be a surefire A for Devin.
I think we go A on it though. I'm fine with A on it.
I
just don't be too generous, right? Like, I don't know. We're kind of moving into the middle point here. Let's go A.
Go A. Okay.
Okay, moving on here to the next song. We have Holiday / Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day.
I was talking to Devin. I was like, we got to get some Green Day in there. I think it was last night in the PlayStation party. I love this song. I don't know how hyped the crowd would get to it though. I got to go high C, low B here.
I'm thinking C tier. It's a song that I wouldn't throw on. I don't hate it, but I wouldn't seek it out. I'm thinking C. What about you, Devin?
This is for sure C. It's like very good song, but I mean, like, what are we gonna do to it? It's just you just kind of throw it on and relax. It's like that. You can sing along, but it's like that's about all you got.
It's mysterious music, headphone music.
That's facts. All right, so we'll go C tier. Moving on though, we got a good one. Mr. Brightside by the Killers. This, no question, is the first S.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be an S for me.
If there was a tier above S, it would still go in that. So you cannot go wrong.
I've seen this make a party at school go too crazy too many times. I've seen people run from different stories of an apartment to get to the main level where the party is for this song. It's just a hit. Everybody goes crazy for it.
What's understood doesn't need explained.
You love saying that. I'm with you though. All right, let's move on to the next one. After our first S tier, we're moving on here too. I Write Sins, Not Tragedies by Panic at the Disco.
Devin, I know this is gonna be one of your little pop punks, so I'll let you.
For me personally, C, like high C.
Ooh.
So that's phenomenal song. His voice, perfect. I don't think he's got to have like at least a top 10 voice in music. The beat goes hard too, but it's like that's like one of those you just sing along to. It's not like you're doing much. It's like, I mean, it's talking about a wedding. It's like, okay, what are we supposed to do there? But it is perfect.
I think in terms of getting the crowd hype, it's gonna be high D, low C for me. I like the song. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad song, but I think in terms of getting the crowd hype.
Okay, I understand that. I love this song though. Like, I don't know why. I just can remember playing like Call of Duty Zombies with this on in the background and just going crazy in like 8th grade or whatever. I chimed in with "Haven't you people ever heard of?" It just goes too crazy.
I think if we're going like pop punk or like emo kid songs, this is S tier for that.
Okay, I get that. Like, this song is just like iconic to me, and so it's like feels wrong putting it that low, but I'm fine with going with C for this setting. But I love this song. All right, next song here. This is not a nostalgic pick Life is a Highway by Rascal Flatts.
That's off, one of the off the second greatest Disney movie ever,
What's
Cars.
number one?
Number one, obviously it's Ratatouille.
Oh, I wasn't thinking that.
Ratatouille goes crazy. I'll defend that for my life,
I guess I'll give Ratatouille a watch. I was gonna think you're gonna guess like Finding Nemo or something.
That's got to be for getting the crowd hype, like C tier as well for me.
I think this is all about setting. I think in the right setting, this could be an S tier. Like,
I think in the right setting, all of these could be an S tier though.
That's valid. But like, I don't know. Like, I just think if you threw this on, like, I don't even know, like a
I'm
barbecue
envisioning
with the right people, this would be wild.
I'm envisioning all these songs playing at like my middle school farewell.
That's fair.
That's like, what's it doing there? What numbers is it doing there?
It's doing pretty low numbers there, I would guess. But I'm my setting for the Hoopsin crowd, you'll get it. The Hoopsin pump. That's like where I think these songs are being played at. I'm not playing at a college party. I'm not playing it necessarily, even though I did mention one of those in my reasoning for Mr. Brightside. That didn't need to be explained, but that's like what I was thinking. So yeah, Life is a Highway. It's all about the setting.
Where you at on this one, Devin?
So we have like completely different like settings, like where we're at, in our heads. Like me personally, when I'm thinking of like, will they be hyped? Sweet Corn Festival, they're in the line for the corn. Say this blares over a speaker, Life is a Highway. I feel like some would go, but I don't feel like that's like the perfect crowd pleaser. So for me, I would have to go with a C.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I think C is good. I like that setting a lot because that's like
I'm gonna give you guys
head.
I'm waiting for the song to come up, but I'm gonna have the perfect setting for one of these songs. So
we're getting to that one. All right, C tier for Life is a Highway. Let's move on to the next song. It's We Are Young by Fun featuring Janelle Monáe. I love this song. I think it gets the crowd hype in the right setting, as all of them do, I guess. There was some videos just going crazy of Travis Scott performing it at like a little show. I've seen him do it multiple times. I think that's just like Travis Scott's bit. Like when he's at a show or he's not performing, he's just like chilling with Chase B or, a different DJ. He's just like throw on We Are Young and he just does that. I've seen him do it with James Harden, Karl Anthony Towns. Travis Scott loves the song, I guess. I think everybody does though. I do.
This one's got it. Yeah, this one's got to be one of the most versatile songs. Like you could play this in a number of different settings, and it's going to get multiple crowd type. For that reasoning, there, give me S tier.
I'm with you. I like S tier. I was thinking A and S, so I'm cool with going with S. What about you, Devin? Where are you at with this one?
I personally have it A tier, probably like in the A tier solidly, but it depends on like who's performing it. Like the song itself, I feel like kind of caps out maybe like high B, but then when you mention like Travis Scott performing it, like his fans are kind of wild, so like that has to bump it up. So if you guys are on board with S, I'll go with it.
It's got to get. Right. It's got the Second Avenue stamp, so that's an override there.
Okay, I like that. Next song here. This is another certified classic, "Sweet Caroline" by Neil Diamond.
I can remember being at so many high school basketball games and the band playing this and it just going crazy. So for that, it's got to be an A tier for me at least.
I like A tier for this one. I absolutely agree. This is a Hoopsin area high school band classic. I'm out on the court warming up or sitting on the bench and they're just getting after it with this track. Yeah, let's go A tier. What about you, Devin? What do you think though?
For sure. It has to be like low S, high A.
That's where I was thinking, at as well.
Too.
Because you just get everyone going. You get like even all the older people, like they're there watching like maybe their grandson, and they are moving. They don't stop. They just move.
That's got to be the top of A.
I think it's the very top of A, but it's so close to an S. All right, though. Let's move on to the next song, "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi. Elijah, kick us off here.
So, this one, I was at my boy Lucas, our assistant to the executive producer, Devin. Lucas, that's my guy. We were at his little brother's graduation party, and the DJs, they had a DJ. The DJ was kind of doing his thing throughout the night, but everyone's getting a little hammered at this point, and we're just like, I was like, Colby, go tell the DJ to play "Living on a Prayer." It got everybody on. It got at least 20 people on the dance floor, all in a circle, just going fucking nuts to that song. So, I mean, for that reasoning there, it's got to be an S tier for me.
Okay, I wouldn't have thrown an S tier personally, but you convinced me off that story that it would be an S tier in the wild. So I'm cool with going S tier if you are, Devin.
I have it like A easily. Like again, it's like the older people, they go wild. So like say your parents like that type of music and you usually do. So then you get like that same feeling. But if you have a story like that where you're getting multiple people after they're probably a little bit hammered, and they're getting onto the dance floor, S.
So Lucas's dad, Randall, obviously you two know who Randall is. Most of the viewers probably don't, but that man is he's a dance floor legend, and we needed a song to get him on the dance floor, and that was it. So
okay, I'm cool with S. Yeah, like it's interesting because the title of this is "Songs Get Away." People turn. Like I don't think I'm getting that turn to "Living on a Prayer," but I think the masses are.
I was fucking turned to that song.
I think in the right setting, like not to be like, oh, if other people are, I will be, but like some of these songs, I will be if nobody else is. Like "We Are Young," I'm going crazy. Like no matter what. This one, I think the group's got to be going crazy. Or else I should be like, vibing. Okay. So we went S tier. That's I like that. We got to start filling S tier up a little bit. Some of these songs are deserving, and that's certainly one. Another song here, though. This is one of the first real rap songs we're getting into. "Lose Yourself" by Eminem.
This has got to be a high A tier for me. High A, possibly an S tier. Where depending on where you guys are at, this is the ultimate motivator for anyone, and classic track.
I think I might have to go S. This is like maybe one of the most like well-known rap songs, like to an extent, that everybody go crazy for in the right setting. The beat goes crazy. Knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit, sweater, already miles, spaghetti. Like everybody knows those lyrics. I think for that reason we gotta go S. What about you, though, Devin? Where are you at?
Like it's kind of funny. My dad, not a big rap guy at all, and he even knows the song. He knows multiple lines to it. Like for that reason, I have to go personally S. Like I mean, he doesn't even do music anymore. But when that comes on, like we even watch like 8 Mile. He's like, oh, there's Eminem. And then that comes on. He's like, oh, there it is.
I'm gonna be honest. I just didn't want to be like the first one to say that it was an S tier song because I didn't know where you guys were at. But I think we're all in agreement on S tier here. So.
I agree. I think this is a hit. Like this is one of the most well-known rap songs of all time. I don't know what numbers it has on Spotify or anything like that, but it has to be like.
It's gotta be insane. Yeah,
it's gotta be crazy. All right, next song though, "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana. The song does bang. I'd have to go like a B on it though. Like I think it's good, but not as good as some of the other ones we're picking.
Devin, where are you at on this one?
I would go B. I mean, great song. Like even the guitar, everything, perfect. But it's like I kind of like cap out. It's like I hit it and it's like I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, obviously such an iconic song, but I'd be low B, high C for me. So we can just throw it in B there.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Next song, though, this is, a certified classic as well. We just kind of loosely alluded to her earlier. "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus.
This was the ultimate get everybody in the middle school dance hype. That's why I keep thinking of it. This has got to be S tier for me.
Given your setting, I think that's definitely an S tier. I'm thinking about my setting. I definitely do think it's still up there. It's definitely an A or an S tier. What about you, Devin? What do you think?
Even my setting, I think that's an A or an S tier for sure. I mean, they might not be like Miley Cyrus fans, but I mean, like once you hear it, like you just got to go with it.
I mean, it's still banged at parties even last year, like summer parties. It's a classic for me.
I know. I don't know though. This is like the most borderline A and S tier I think so far. I forget what we said was the top of the A tier. Did we say the top of the A tier was
Sweet Caroline, I thought.
Sweet Caroline? Yeah. So do we think this is going to get the crowd going more than Sweet Caroline or less? I think almost a little bit less. Like, I don't know.
I think people our age though are gonna go more crazy. You know, that's what I'm kind of thinking of. You know, a party in the USA. I think for the
That's
setting
true.
Sweet Caroline was in though, that's like perfect for it. You know, because you can get
All
the younger
ages.
kids going on the hook, and you know the older parents and everything. But I think
right. So
I
you
think
think S
we'll
tier?
even them out. No, we'll put them. That's like the peak. That's the standard of of the top of A tier.
Party in the USA is
Yeah, Party in the USA and Sweet Caroline.
okay. So they're both A tier.
Yeah, very high A tier.
Okay, I like that. These almost need their own category. Okay, let's move on here. The next one that we got Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinnard. The song does hit, but does it hit as hard as its ugly cousin All Summer Long by Kid Rock? That one almost gets people going a little bit crazier. Although Sweet Home Alabama does go crazy too. Certain crowds would go crazier for All Summer Long. For that reason, I'm about to go B here for Sweet Home Alabama.
I'm gonna C for this one.
Devin?
I am at a C unless like you're at a NASCAR race, you know. A NASCAR race, you can bump it up a little bit, but I think C is probably where it belongs.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Let's go C tier then. I do kind of feel like we're almost being too nice some of these songs, but now I'm looking and we have one coming up that I think we're gonna have fun with. Okay, let's move on here. Next song that we got Fireflies by Owl City. This is another one I think is polarizing, all about the group, all about the age demographic breakdown here. I personally don't know where I would throw this one at. Devin, we'll start with you though, or Elijah, start with you. What do you got?
I'm just gonna I'll let Devin go first on this one. I mean, he even had that little social media comeback with this one as well, you know, where it's kind of everywhere a few years ago. So, but Devin, where do you rank this?
This one's actually really tough. Really tough. I mean, great song, you know. I mean, I feel like I'd even pull my phone out, you know, put the flashlight out there, you know, get the fireflies going, but I'd say probably B, maybe B, like low B, high C, just depending.
I got a high C.
I think C as well. I think this is another one that even if you could take 20 people around our age and it might hit, but you could take another group of 20 and it might just flop. Like, it's all about.
My thing is how hyped can you get to the song though?
It's true. Hype. You're not getting very hyped to it. Yeah, I'm definitely C tier on this one. Like, because you're not getting hype. Okay. That's true. There's a big difference between like how good of a song it is and how hype you're getting.
I'm not saying it's a.
So I almost wouldn't be appalled to go in D tier. Like, you're gonna sing along, but you're not getting hyped to it. You know what I mean?
I think, you know, in the setting of like a car though, like all 5 people in the car fucking singing every word to that song.
That's true. I kind of forgot about the planet Earth turning slowly part, because that part you could definitely get a little hype to. And definitely a sing along. Okay, let's go C tier. Are we in agreement?
Yeah.
Okay. This next song though, this is the one where it's all about the line between hype and quality. It's Cotton Eye Joe. It's definitely like a D tier for quality, but people are definitely getting hyped to it. That you cannot disagree with. And for that reason, it's going to be a little bit higher than it should be, I think. But I think it'd have to go B or A. Like, I've seen some people go crazy to this song. So like, I don't have a specific story, but like people have definitely like.
I have a specific story.
All right, let's hear it.
So, you know, my boy Lucas Hofer, he's kind of, you know, me and him are of the same, you know, in like a big giant group. We're a little shy, you know, but I've seen my boy fucking Hofer hit the Cotton Eye Joe dance. So for that, you know, it gets the crowd turned, obviously. I'm going to go high B here.
Okay. Is this the top of B, Devin? What do you think?
I think it has to go top of B for sure. I mean, song quality, like you said, not very good, but I mean, everybody moves, doesn't matter, but it's like,
I personally can't do the dance.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't either.
I'm not.
But the people who can do the dance,
the people that
they
go
be
crazy
hitting
for
that
this go
shit.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. So okay, I like that. This was an interesting one for me because like when we were just talking like Fireflies, if we wouldn't have just talked about Fireflies, the difference between quality and hype, I would have been like D tier for Cotton Eye Joe. But now that we've had that established, I'm cool with that. Okay, move on to the next song though. Here we got Electric Feel by MGMT. I think this is definitely a vibey beat. People go crazy for this beat, but I don't know how high I'm going to go on this because I don't know how hype it's going to be. I love this song. Listen to it all the time in the car, especially like when it's nice out in the summer, you know. I don't know. I might have to go like B or C though, because I don't think people are getting that hype for it.
This one's a C for me in terms of hype.
Devin?
Yeah, I would say I might even be low C for me hype wise, but I do love the song. You know, it's a great song. Beat is like perfect. But it's like, what am I doing? You know, got nothing going on. It's like, if I'm in the car, cool. It's like, is it gonna be like that opener at like a concert to get people moving? I don't know.
I don't know either. I've never been to an MT concert. Don't know if I ever would, but I do love this song. I would definitely have a good time if I heard it, but I don't know how like out of my seat I'm getting for it. All right, let's move on here to the final song of the tier list. We have Everybody Talks by Neon Trees. I think we've been a little bit nice. The song was included. Got to be a D tier though. This is the first D tier, I think. It's an okay song, but I'm not bumping it like that.
I'm in complete disagreement here. I had to pause for a second, but I mean, just that hook's at least got to provide it with maybe a B.
Okay. I don't. What do you think, Devin?
I hate to be this guy, you know, but that's got to be low C for me. You know, it's a good song, you know, but it's like we're just singing along, you know. It's not like what I'm trying to play in my head is like those memes of like the people at the like the pop punk or like the heavy metal concerts and they're punching the air like in the mosh pit and stuff like that. Like, I don't even think they would do that for this. You know, there's a couple songs on this tier list where I feel like they would, but I feel like this is like maybe like a very strict maybe. So I'd put that probably C tier.
Okay, so we're meeting in the middle, going C tier.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
I agree with that.
I feel like we were a little bit too nice in this list. We also picked some absolute bangers.
Yeah, I feel like we could have, you know, chose some bad songs here, but you know, when we're collabing with the boy ChildishDevino, it's got to be just all bangers.
Exactly. We got to make sure we're talking about the hits with Devin, nothing but the hits. Devin, we got to give you a big thank you on the record. You help us a lot out behind the scenes here. Give us some ideas, give us some questions. We appreciate it. Thank you.
You can give your nav plug now.
You know, insert the picture if you can. I don't know if you can. Insert the picture of him bowling right now.
I'll do my best. It'll be on the screen. I don't know how long it'll take me to figure out how to do that, but it will be on the screen. Anyway, Devin, though, like I said, you've been giving us some questions. We got to answer a question with you, though. You gave us a question a couple weeks ago. What is your dream collab? You could pick 2-3 people. We'll answer as well, of course. But we wanted to get your opinion as well because we just want to give the people a little bit more about you.
Okay, so a lot of people know it now. I like Shabuzi a lot. It's got like four or five good songs that I consistently bump. So for me personally, my dream collab, we have to start with Shabuzi getting like mentored, you know, like getting a beat or something from like Kanye. And maybe even like throwing like ChildishDevino and just see how like they all could mesh something together. Because I feel like Shabuzi's he's probably never gonna blow up like he should, or how I think he should. But I think like a song like that, where like he's got everything coming from two polarizing figures in like music, I feel like that would just like catapult him up to where I think he should be.
I know you're a big Shabuzi guy, so you're the one that put me on to Shabuzi. So, I mean, it's your choice. I like that for you. That's a great pick. Elijah, have you thought about your choice here? What would it be?
I have. So, you know, I've always kind of wanted this. I love like, you know, just dissecting the three of these. But, you know, it's like my emo rap dream collab, you know, with X, Juice WRLD, and Lil Peep, you know. I don't know how it would work or how well they would all mesh together, but just when I think of like emo rap, I think of those three. They kind of were the pioneers for it. So I'd just love to see what they could do together.
That's fire. I like that a lot. That's definitely like three that go together that, you know, could have collabed in another lifetime. So I like that. If maybe there was more time for some of them, they would have collabed. Three all have passed away. That's kind of crazy too, right?
Yeah, no, I like, so that kind of groups them together. I've always grouped them together even before Juice and X had passed, but then, you know, now they're all gone. It's like, it's just, they all fit the same billing there. So
That's crazy. That's a good group right there though. All great. You know, my choice, this was definitely hard because there's so many different ways you could go with this. But I ended up going with Tyler the Creator, Childish Gambino, and Andre 3000. I think that would be just a crazy collab. Obviously, you got great production from Tyler, probably, but he's also doing his thing vocally. 3 Sacks would just come in with a killer verse. Anytime he raps, people go crazy because you don't get it all the time. And then Gambino, he's another person we don't get music from all the time, but he's just like a genius musically and everything he does artistically. And I just know that song would be like nothing we've heard. It'd be super unique, super just, it could really go anyway. It could be catchy, it could not, it could be hard. Who knows? It would be a hit though. I know that. I could guarantee that.
definitely. I like that pick as well.
All right. Well, Devin, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. We appreciate it. Let the people know where they can follow you, where they can tap into what you got going on.
You just follow me. Really, the only one I really care about is just Twitter. So Twitter is my is at ChildishDevino. You know, you could follow my Twitch. I don't really care though. I don't stream very often, so it's all you. But
you got to plug it.
But the most important thing is you actually tune in on YouTube, maybe to Second Avenue and like it. You know.
Look at that.
Look at this guy plugging us on our own podcast.
He is a producer.
That's just a great guy right there.
Now I know how Mr. Beast feels when they're like, follow Mr. Beast. We're on Mr. Beast level soon. So I appreciate it, Devin. You're the reason why. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, Devin. We appreciate it. Maybe you'll be on another episode soon. Keep giving us some questions though, because
we'll run it back or get a Twitch collab soon. So
okay.
Twitch collab on the way. You heard it here first.
It's on the way.
All right.
I am going to rebrand, you know, so here we go. Maybe we do it at the same time. Who knows?
All right, let's get
perfect kickoff. Be tuning in for that date, guys.
Stay tuned to the Instagram at Second Avenue Pod. We're going to announce a stream here with Devin soon. I don't know what game we're going to play. There's, you know, like you said, games aren't that fun anymore. Probably have to play Fortnite though, because, you know, that's like the classic cross-platform, because, you know, I'm an Xbox boy. These guys are on other platforms, PlayStation, PC, so it's gonna have to be Fortnite probably. But it would be dope if we could play 2K. So maybe we'll have to find a way to arrange that. Maybe, I don't know.
We can get something in the works for that.
It's almost like I have a PS4, you know, that I don't use anymore, and I'd be like, "Hey, Johnny, wow, I dropped this PS4 off at your front door. Hey, man."
Ooh, okay. You heard it here first, guys.
Y'all can see what I'm about on 2K at that point. So
stay tuned for the news here. Thank you so much for joining us, Devin.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, that was a pretty good segment here, getting the ChildishDevino collab that has been, you know, we've been looking for a minute. So that was good.
It's been long foreshadowed on that one, so it's definitely good to get that one out of the way.
Especially after we did him dirty and collabed with another Twitch streamer first. We know, no offense, Mitchell, but you know, Devin helps us out a little bit more than you. So you know? Yeah, it's maybe you should start helping us out, Mitchell. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, but let's move on to the news this week. Like Elijah mentioned earlier, we're recording this on Wednesday, so it's a little bit shorter of a turnaround than we typically have. Normally, there's a little bit more news that's already happened. There's a little bit more music we're able to listen to, but this case, you know, we're not. So we're going to talk about what has happened this short week. Starting off, we're going to talk about the releases that you could expect to see on Friday. So when this is coming out on Monday, this is what just came out. We got projects from Big Baby Gucci, Babyface Ray dropping a deluxe, Eric DOA, Harry Styles, and Ty Fontaine. Then we got some singles from John Legend featuring JID. This one actually just dropped today. Deontay Hitchcock dropped 2 singles, as well as the song Feels by Lil Peep coming to streaming services. I think I have a guess here, but which one of these are you most excited for?
It's not the Lil Peep track.
Oh, okay.
That's not one of my favorite ones. I like it, but this man does some insane numbers. I'll show my props where it's due. I'm never bumping in the car with my homies, but Harry Styles, I am a little excited for that one. And then I obviously got to get that John Legend and JID track a listen. My boy Anthony was texting me. He was like, how they posted whenever Kendrick was dropping, it's like Kendrick Lamar is officially retired. And then he did that. And Anthony fell for it, like FaceTime. He's like, did JID retire? Because someone had posted JID is officially retired. So
I saw that tweet. That's pretty funny. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised you didn't pick the Lil Peep song, but I do agree with you that it's like not the best Lil Peep song, but it, cool to have on streaming services now. I agree though, the Harry Styles project will probably go pretty crazy. Like Harry Styles is, pretty good. I don't really go out of my way to listen to him too much. I listened to his last project when it dropped, and I was like, oh, I do like
he
this.
Does crazy numbers too.
He does. He puts up numbers for sure.
Drake, Adele type numbers. So
facts. One of the biggest and got global fans. So definitely one of the biggest out right now. But the one I had to give, or I'm most excited for, is going to be Big Baby Gucci. I don't know that many songs by Big Baby Gucci. So I'm excited to get into this project and then go back and listen to some of the other stuff. I just love the song RoboCop by Big Baby Gucci. I don't remember where I found out about this song, but let's do it all the time. It's one of my favorite songs right now. I always think about Spotify Wrapped because I'm just like, oh, what's going to be? I feel like that could be my top 5 songs for the year. And then people will probably think it's like RoboCop by Kanye, which is one of the I don't know. It's not the best song off 808. You know what I mean? Why would people listen to that? So it's I don't know. It's just interesting. People are going to see that and be like, if it does make my top 5, one to sing in a couple months, I guess. But I love that song. And so I'm definitely going to give a listen to this project when it drops. Moving on, though, to the next piece of news here. We just got some news that Pigeons and Planes' first collab album will drop this summer, and it'll feature music from Red Veil, Tizo Touchdown, Wallace, X Stacy, Ben Riley, Fana Hughes, Dreamer Isioma, Terry Presume, and Brevin Kim. I'm pretty excited for this. I saw this announcement that this project was going to be coming last year. They announced that it was going to come this year, but they didn't say the artist or anything like that. But now we officially got word of some of the artists are going to be on it and a timetable that it will be out this summer, probably sooner than later. I feel like they want to get it out right when the summer's kicking off. What are your expectations for this project? Are you excited for it?
I'm pretty excited for it. A lot of names on here. Tizo Touchdown is probably the one I'm most excited to hear from, though.
Yeah, Tizo, it's been a minute. He hasn't put out a project yet, so I'm excited to see when we do get that. But any music we get from him is always, kind of crazy. I'm wondering, it's just a compilation album, so I'm wondering if we're going to get a lot of collabs here, if it's going to be just individual solo songs, just grouped together under the Pitches and Planes thing. But Red Veil put out a great project this year, so excited to get more music from him, as well as Wallace. She's an indie pop type artist. Crazy though, she's fire. I just saw some post from Pitches and Planes probably at the end of last year about her, and I gave her a listen. She's pretty fire, as well as Ben Riley. I feel like I saw a TikTok about him. That's how I found out who Ben Riley was. He's got a song called Maytag, though. Go give that a listen. It's a hit.
Moving on, though, some big news, some big Migos related news. I feel like that's why you got my question earlier.
It's exactly why.
Yeah. So Offset unfollows Quavo and Takeoff after Quavo and Takeoff announced they're dropping a new single under the name Unk and Few. What are your thoughts on this?
I gotta say, Unk and Few was a pretty garbage name when you're the Migos, and that many people are gonna see it. I feel like they could be a little bit more creative. I do love the family ties. We got the family ties. We gotta respect that. But yeah, I think they could have done a little bit better. But
yeah, I think so as well. But it's gonna be interesting to see, what the sound is or how it all comes. They've all kind of gone on that solo route before, and they obviously all came back to Migos. So I'm interested to see how this unfolds, the bigger situation here. Obviously, excited to get the single and everything, of course, though.
Facts. And one thing that's pretty interesting, I feel like at one point every member of the Migos has been like the public's favorite. Like I feel like at the start it was always Quavo. Everybody's like, oh, Quavo's the top.
Definitely.
But then I feel like it was Offset for a long time, and then I feel like more recently it's been Takeoff. Like I feel like people really fuck with Takeoff. I feel like they fuck with Quavo a little bit less, but I feel like he's just the most well known.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Offset's probably number 2, and then Takeoff is last. But I feel like Takeoff is just getting a lot of love recently. So it's just kind of interesting to see, like, you know, if Offset isn't a part of the Migos anymore, like if that would end, like how is Offset going to do by himself?
Definitely. That's what I'm more interested in the single, honestly. So we'll see how the situation unfolds and everything. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just smoke, but pretty big.
Yeah, I kind of hope it's not the case though, because I mean, I do enjoy some Migos now and then. So seeing them break it off, that'd be tough. But let's move on here to the next piece of news. Lupe Fiasco is dropping an album on June 24th called Drill Music in Zion. Lupe Fiasco has called it his Illmatic, and Craig Bauer, who mixed Late Registration by Kanye West, calls Lupe's upcoming album the best album he has ever mixed. This is some big praise.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You know, they're coming. They're hitting heavy with this one. So just hopefully it lives up to expectations there.
I think it will. Lupe to me is like, I don't know how wide this opinion would be, but like he's like a top 10 rapper of all time to me. I think Lupe
he's
Fiasco
definitely
is crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely a legend in the game. So I mean, even I feel like if you're gonna come out and say that and you're already a legend, you're gonna put out something fucking insane. So
I think it's tough though, because it's, I don't know, as an artist, I don't know. I feel like you can maybe not be satisfied with what you've done in the past, and you kind of always want to one up it. So maybe he's just really high on what he's doing right now. But I feel like at the same time, like even with the podcast here, like we put an episode, I'm like, like it was okay. But then people are like, oh, I liked it this week. You know, it's like my favorite one. I'm like, oh, like, okay, like I thought it was good, but not great. You know what I mean? And so like, I feel like if I was an artist, I'd be the exact same way. Like I'd be okay, but I'd never be like fully satisfied, which is like kind of a bad thing, kind of a good thing, I guess. So it's just kind of interesting to see Lupe, you know, if he's saying it's his best, like I feel like it's got to be pretty good. And
I feel
not
like if
only
you're
him, like if
I
Craig's
feel like
saying it too. So
I feel like, you know, you could say it's your best, you know. Yeah, Craig Bauer is saying it's your best, but when you start bringing in other albums, you know, Illmatic and Late Registration, classic albums, you know, bars set high.
Facts. I trust Lupe. Lupe, even he's put out good music too. Like he obviously has like his like classics, like his great projects like earlier in his career, like in the 2000s, but he's put out good music into the 2010s. So
Consistently,
there's no reason that this wouldn't be. He put out a couple other songs earlier this year, Hustlers, and then I think one other single that were good. So I mean, I'm very excited for this project though. We'll have to give it a listen when it drops, and obviously give you our thoughts as well.
Definitely. Moving on though, Kendrick is on pace to have 3 of the top 15 best-selling albums this week, with To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
It's pretty wild. Like it just shows how big Kendrick is and how much people have been wanting Kendrick Lamar to return. Like obviously Mr. Morale's and be doing the big numbers because it's the new one.
Yeah.
But it just shows like people were going back to the other ones to get ready. And then even after the new one dropped, they probably went back and were like just refinding that love for Kendrick. So it's great to see.
Definitely crazy to see as well. Out of, you know, 50, you know, in the top 15, 3 of them. So
facts. One other thing though, like I saw somebody say this. They were talking about how many people this could have been their first Kendrick Lamar album that they listened to like on release day, and that blew my mind because, you know, it's been 5 years.
Well, and Damn, you know, I felt like that was probably his most commercially successful album, and he gained a lot of fans from that over time. Maybe not on release date. So this really could
exactly.
But I mean, like, you factor that in as well, and just think of how many more. Like
exactly. But I mean, imagine if you were like, you know, 12 when Damn dropped, and then now you're 17, and this comes out, like you're way more invested. Like, who knows if you were listening to Damn, well, I mean, like the day it dropped. I mean, just think about it.
Just think about our young bull Trent. That dude's 14, so he's 9 when Damn drops. So, I mean, this definitely got to be his. This definitely got to be his first Kendrick Lamar drop.
Unless he's a different breed. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I definitely, my first Drake album was Nothing Was the Same. And so what would that have been? 2014?
2013.
2013? So that'd have been 15. That's Drake too. I mean, Drake's actually, I don't know. Maybe I knew who Drake was before, but I don't remember if I listened to Take Care like off rip, you know what I mean? Like on
I never listened to like Take Care off rip, or Nothing Was the Same off rip even, but I remember listening to like What a Time to Be Alive. That was probably my first listen there. So I feel like there's a difference between knowing the songs and hearing the songs when they come out versus, you know, sitting down and listening to a full album. So
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I remember the first Drake song I heard was absolutely Forever. No question. I was in John Greer Elementary School. Forever. That, no question. And then I obviously had like Find Your Love and all these other songs coming out afterwards. And then I know I was listening to Take Care like in middle school, but I don't think I would have like listened to it like right when it dropped or anytime around there. But then I was like a diehard Drake fan at that point. So then when Nothing Was the Same, I was all in on that. But let's move on here to a final piece of news. The Billboard Music Awards were this weekend. Travis Scott performed, and he performed his song Lost Forever. It's unreleased, but there's like a name attached to it. It's been attached to that name for a long time. It's been teased multiple times. I personally love this song. There's a version, at least, with a West Side Gun feature, which when I heard that for the first time, blew my mind. I never would have imagined West Side Gun and Travis Scott on a song. Also on a song that samples James Blake. Like, it's a crazy track. I love it. I need it on streaming services. I feel like that performance, though, was a tease that it will be like releasing sometime soon. I hope it's a West Side Gun version. I could see, you know, that was last summer, I think. So I feel like it could maybe have gotten, you know, tweaked. Maybe West Side Gun got dropped off, but just the fact that he was, you know, on it at one point, that was pretty crazy. I hope it's on the version that comes out. Either way, though, I love the beat. I love the song. So I'm hoping it comes to streaming services and sometime soon. But that made me start thinking, when are we going to get music from Travis Scott? Obviously, I'd hold that heat come back a little bit while ago, but we haven't got like an individual Travis Scott song, you know, since Mafia last year.
I'm not sure, honestly. Like I would expect fall would be my best guess. I mean, maybe he drops this summer. I'm really hoping they can get him back at Rolling Loud Miami, though. Maybe just as a special guest, even that could be someone potentially Kanye brings out or something like that. But I don't know. That's just my hope is he drops this summer so he can come to Rolling Loud, or, you know, maybe they add him late as a guest, even though he is a headliner, but they've got some crazy names on there. So
yeah, I don't think it'd be crazy that Kanye could bring him out. Like, I think that's possible because that was what was supposed to happen at Coachella. So maybe they just switch it up to Rolling Loud because, you know, that is Ye's next booked.
Travis has got a very good relationship with Rolling Loud too. He's performed at Rolling Loud a lot of times. I mean, over at least 5 times. So
facts. That would be pretty cool if you were there for that. That'd be pretty well. When is Rolling Loud again?
It's July. It's like the week. I think I fly out July 25th and I come back July 30th. So
okay, well,
I think it's the 26th to the 29th or 28th. I'm not sure on that one. I'll get back to you on when Rolling Loud is.
I think maybe we get new music from Travis before then. I don't think a full project. I think one song though will come out before then.
We got a couple months to.
In the next 2 months, we're getting a new Travis Scott song. I feel pretty confident about that. I feel like he's kind of getting more back into like
public
normalcy,
yeah,
into the public eye, doing the Billboard Music Awards. He did like a little performance somewhere, I think in Vegas, like last week or week. That was in when we were talking about him doing We Are Young. It was a small setting though. I don't think it was like a real concert. So yeah, I think this is kind of building it back up to where it was. Maybe it won't be at where it was, but, you know, be close to that.
I mean, yeah.
So we'll see.
Very excited, of course. You know, I texted you this week. I told you I was going through Travis' discography a little bit, and he's got no misses. He's got all very, very solid projects out. So, I mean, I'd expect nothing less from Utopia here.
It is pretty funny that we're talking about Travis because today I was going through like some of my old documents on my computer. And for one of my classes, I took like a graphic design type class. We had to make a resume. And one of the things they wanted us to put on it was like a, you know, about us, but it wasn't supposed to be like super like professional, just a quick, you know, about us. And I was like, oh, you know, in my free time, I like sports, music, going to concerts, stuff like that. Especially my favorite artists, Chance the Rapper and Travis Scott. So that really ages that document to that era. Like that was before the big day, obviously before the Astroworld situation. I'm not saying that like whatever, but that, you know, those two aren't really at my top anymore. So it's just funny to see how it changes.
Definitely. It's a great thing to see, you know, especially music, like dating that stuff back and everything.
Facts. Like even with this podcast, like we're gonna be able to go back and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I thought, you know, Kendrick's album was that good. Like then I think I always will, but that's just an example, you know what I mean?
Definitely a lot to think about with that one. But I think that about wraps it up for this week. Do you have any final thoughts here, Jonathan?
Enjoyed this week's episode. Great to have Devin on. Let us know who you guys want us to have on the podcast. If you got a smaller artist, local artist, let us know. We'd love to get them on, give them a little bit of attention. I think it'd be a good time, have a good conversation. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Definitely. Next time we're recording on here, hopefully the Heat are these finals, you know, maybe a little gentleman's sweep. So that's my hope, of course.
I hope the opposite, but we'll see. We got game 2 tomorrow, so hope for the best.
Definitely. But that about wraps it up. So we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week.